Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your Monday, your SmackDown Live results and 205 results. Happy birthday goes to Armando Alejandro Estrada, turned 37 years old today. Only birthday in the wrestling world that I have found. WWE has officially announced a new day for Friday's episode of Let's Make a Deal on CBS. They can be seen in a teaser video at this link here. If you can see them in the video, post comments where it was, because I seen the video and I didn't see it. I only seen Wayne Brady and what have you, and crowd jumping everywhere. The WWE announced that these details and mentioned in a video, captioned that they welcomed host Wayne Brady to their team and called out WWE Hall of Famer Drew Carey, who hosts Price is Right on CBS. New Day brings the power of holidays to Let's Make a Deal. The Christmas Eve edition of Let's Make a Deal celebrates the holidays with the power of positivity. Tune in to the hit game show on December 23rd when Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods put their hands together and help families win more than $110,000 in cash and prizes. The longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history join forces with the host and former Raw guest star Wayne Brady to play Smash for cash and a Christmas sound effects game. Don't miss New Day on Let's Make a Deal, December 23rd. It also airs weekdays on CBS. Check your local listings. TNA World Heavyweight Champion Eddie Edwards recently appeared on the Interactive Wrestling Radio with host James Walsh to promote Total Nonstop Deletion, where he will defend the title against Bobby Lashley in a Dome of Deletion match. A full interview. I'm giving you highlights here. He comments on the Total Nonstop Deletion concept. I agree with you that it is going to open the eyes of the professional wrestling world. People are going to be watching all over the world. You don't want to be the guy who misses it. It is going to be very special, and I was very lucky enough to be part of it. There are some really unique laughs, things that goes down. Every time the Hardys have done one of these things, they take it a step further. This is going to be so entertaining, you will be speechless. Being the only Ring of Honor and TNA Triple Crown champion, it is pretty awesome to be able to look at it and see what I've been able to accomplish. We all set goals for ourselves, and when you get into pro wrestling business, we all want to be the world champion. In my career, I've always tried to pick goals, achieve it, and move on. First of all, get into Ring of Honor, win the tag titles, win the TV title, win the world title. I was able to accomplish that. I've done the same thing at TNA. Me and Davey, same thing. Win the titles, win the tag titles, win the X Division title, steal the show, and finally I was able to win the heavyweight title. Considering all the guys that have been in both companies, it's pretty amazing to put myself, to see my name in those record books. You can't erase that. The TNA climate with all the changes backstage. You said tough times backstage. That's not the case for us. The office stuff is the office stuff. There is nothing that I myself or any of the other boys or girls in the locker room can do about it. We always had the same mentality. We've always had the same goal. The talent in the locker room is out of this world. Top notch. The product that is going on in the ring right now is top notch. Top of the world. We've tried to put on the best show, the best product that we can, and that has never wavered. As for what it is going on behind the scenes, rumors are rumors. Sometimes even half-truths are even half-truths. You know what I mean? We just have to go about our business and handle our stuff. The new year is coming up. It is a fresh start for everyone, but especially for TNA with the new ownership coming in. It is going to be starting fresh again. And we're just here to take it to the next level. We just want to prove that we are the best wrestling company in the world right now. And then comments on Broken Matt Hardy character. Amazing, just amazing. The Hardys in general, Matt has reinvented himself time and time again, not only to stay relevant, but to stay on top of the professional wrestling world. Anywhere he goes, people are saying, delete, delete, delete. I've seen some people who aren't even wrestling fans, and I've seen it pop up on random websites. I'm astonished and amazed by it. The Broken brilliance. He really is that, but it is not just for himself. He wants professional wrestling to succeed. He wants TNA to succeed. I couldn't find a more giving guy as far as wrestling him and just ideas. You can go and pick his brain. He's always willing to give his thoughts and ideas on anything. This is such a hard thing to find with guys who, he's made it. He's one of the best ever, him and Jeff. For them to be willing to go out there and give back and work as hard as they do is awesome to see. It gives hope for all. Why his and Davey Richards' WWE NXT stint was so short? Just the timing. We went down and did a couple of weeks thing down there. They decided to go a different direction. We were comfortable going in a different direction. We were in talks with TNA at the time, so we wanted to go to TNA because we thought that was the best opportunity, and WWE was going in a different direction anyway. So we are happy with the decision that we made. If his work ethic and work rate helped him get the world title opportunity, I think so. I think it certainly has played a part in it. When I and Davey got to TNA, we wanted to prove we could wrestle anybody, anywhere, and have a good match. I take pride in being able to work any style, any match, any type of scenario, a strong mix of matches. I don't want every match to be the same. I work as hard as I would in front of 20 people as I would do for 20,000. I don't know what led to the decision leading to winning the title, but I'm sure it played a part in it. To say I take pride in it, I know Davey does as well. We want to be known as the workhorse, bust our butts, and leave it all in the ring. Facing Lashley, a total non-stop deletion. We talked our different styles. This is not like an exhibition match. This is me going up against a force of nature like Lashley, a beast. I'm expecting more of the same. I'm going to get thrown around. I'm going to get beat up a bit, but I thrive in being the underdog. I know I'm the champion, but looking at me and looking at him, it's pretty believable that he could beat me. I'm fine with that. I welcome the challenge. I want that target on my back, being world champion. Going into this match, I'm just looking for a fight. He's a bit peeved going in. One thing nobody knows about is our Doma deletion we've got going on. I don't know how to prepare for that. Lashley doesn't know how to prepare. There is a ring involved, but there's also shenanigans. People will be very excited with this show. This is a full 2-hour journey into the mind of the Broken brilliant. And as he laughs, he talks about the perspective of Rob Gronkowski getting into wrestling. I think he would be very entertaining. Obviously, he's athletic. He's probably a beast. He'd probably really enjoy it. I think he'd have to get used to it hurting. I think he doesn't think it hurts as much as it does, but I think he'd be a great personality, and he'd be fun to party with afterwards. After all, football is just more hard hits than wrestling is. And he comments on if Anthem will take TNA back to the promised land. That is the goal, no matter what. But especially at this time, with Anthem coming in, it's a new year, a fresh start. Everyone has the same goal from the opposite of boys and girls. We all want to go out there and kick butt and put on the best product. I think this is the perfect time to ride the moments of total non-stop deletion and ride that into the new year, or just keep going and going on. People who have turned their back on TNA and even have rooted against us, which I have never been able to understand. This is a new time, a new day. There is lots of new talent. Just tune in, watch total non-stop deletion. TNA's next live pay-per-view event will take place on Friday, January 6th from Universal Studios in Orlando. That's a different night for a pay-per-view. According to PW Insider, no word yet on the full name or concept of the pay-per-view, but it will be another one-night-only event. This event will air on traditional pay-per-view distributors as well as Fight app. It will also air internationally with TNA's various broadcast partners. TNA will return to Universal Studios on January 5th and tape throughout through January 12th. John Pollock of the Fight Network reports the Fight Network parent company, Anthem Sports and Entertainment, has had talks with TNA co-founder Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett does not have a new role with TNA, and he's not serving any kind of advisor role, but they are having conversations, described as background information, for Anthem as they prepare to oversee the revival of the TNA brand. Jarrett left the company 3 years ago and remained an investor until last year, when he made his final TV appearance for the company and was inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame. Again, Jarrett does not have a role with the company right now. PW Insider reports that the talks between TNA and Jarrett began on Monday, December 5th. Jarrett has been meeting and talking with Anthem's Ed Nordholm, who is overseeing TNA's day-to-day operations. The two reportedly went out of their way to meet in secret to have exploratory discussions, and Jeff has had not been at TNA offices in Nashville. Nordholm wanted to meet Jarrett to get some background on TNA and learn about different aspects of how the company operated over the various time periods. Regarding Pollock, reporting on Anthem's dealings, PW Insider reported that he heard about potential talks with Jarrett and went to Anthem with questions. Pollock is technically an Anthem employee, and they could have tried getting the story shut down, but they confirmed that the story and allowed him to write it as he wanted, which says a lot about the company. As seen above, as seen at this link here from WWE Storytime, the story is told by Devon Dudley as Vince McMahon helped play a prank on Jonathan Gresham, Jonathan Coachman, who was also known as Coach on ESPN. Vince enlisted the help from some officers to arrest Coach for illegal gambling. According to Devon, Coach began to cry as they put him in the police car. Before Vince finally called off the prank, an episode of Storytime will directly follow Raw last night. WWE signed former TNA knockout Rosie Love to a developmental deal. According to Casey of Square Circle Sirens, Rosie retired in 2012 due to health reasons, but returned in 2015 after losing almost 150 pounds. She's been using the name of Andrea and working for Shine and other companies since then. She had a WWE tryout in 2015 and appeared on WWE NXT, losing to Emma. As noted, women's wrestler Heidi Lovelace also one new WWE talent, expected to report to the Performance Center next month. And here's a video of Heidi's farewell at Alpha One Wrestling in Canada from this past weekend. Dave Meltzer reported on last night's episode of Wrestling Observer Radio that Raw General Manager will be undergoing hip replacement surgery. Meltzer added on last night's episode that Foley was originally supposed to have this weekend off, but he was called to do an appearance at Roadblock last night. Foley was said to be in tremendous pain and will be getting the hip replacement surgery relatively soon. He requested time off because it is difficult for him to do all the traveling with the pain that he's in. Well, Dallas Cowboys hired Sting in an intimidation role coach. As you can see in this Twitter video, on the Dallas Cowboy Twitter account. After appearing in the official Dallas Cowboy radio show a few days back, Hall of Famer Sting appeared in this new comedy video with new intimidation coach for the NFL team. Chad Gable has found resounding success in the world of pro and amateur wrestling. With his skill set, many figured an MMA career was on the horizon for Gable before joining WWE. Former Olympian and NXT Tag Team Champion, Gable told the Miami Herald that despite popular opinion, he doesn't even really like MMA. A lot of people ask that and think that that would have made sense considering my background, but MMA was something I and still to this day was not very interested in. I don't really watch it. A lot of people assume that I do, but I don't. For whatever reason, it just didn't grab me like it did a lot of people in my amateur wrestling field. For me, it was just amateur wrestling and pro wrestling that I fell in love with. Following his amateur wrestling career, it was another former amateur in Gerald Briscoe that helped him get into the company. I got in touch with WWE Hall of Famer Jerry Briscoe, who does a lot of amateur wrestling recruiting for WWE. He was very honest with me and told me, "We're not typically looking for guys your size." He's usually out there scouting heavyweights, which is understandable. And all I did was ask him for a shot, and he helped me out. I went down there to the Performance Center in Orlando for the tryout, and luckily I impressed them enough or gave them enough of a reason to think that I could help the company, and so they signed me. American Alpha currently performs on the SmackDown brand, but yet have to capture WWE Gold, as you can see in this video about it. Lucha Underground released a music video for current champion Johnny Mundo entitled "Welcome to Slamtown." Unknown if he's a current champion right now because the last episode I saw, Sexy Star is her new champion. Well, surprisingly not terrible, as you can see in this link. Dana Brooke, under her real name of Ashley Sebera, has been announced for the fitness international competition at the 2017 Arnold Sports Festival on Friday, March 3rd in Columbus, Ohio. Dana earned her International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness Pro Card in 2012 and won several national physique committee championships before signing with WWE. This isn't her first Arnold competition, as she placed 12th at the 2013 European Arnold Classic and 13th at the 2015 Arnold Sports Festival. On a related note, the official Arnold Sports Twitter account noted today that they do not have WWE on the schedule at this time. WWE has a presence at the Arnold for a few years now. And after Triple H appeared with WWE Hall of Famer Arnold Schwarzenegger earlier this year for a question and answer, it was reported that WWE would continue to work the festival. This year's WWE experience at the Arnold was considered to be a success. Tonight's SmackDown opens up with a normal intro video. Live from the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit with Mauro Ranallo, JBL, and David Otunga and Tom Phillips. First match was WWE title match, James Ellsworth versus AJ Styles, which can be found in this link. 2-minute squash match, somewhat. But I was disappointed in the match there. Go back to the ring as AJ Styles made his way out. James Ellsworth was out next. He was hyped up. AJ and Ellsworth have words to stare each other down before Greg Hamilton does his formal ring introduction. They lock up and AJ sends Ellsworth into the corner, but he puts on the brakes. AJ turns back around and catches no chin music. AJ unloads with strikes and drops Ellsworth. AJ takes time and covers for the pin. Which the match only lasts about 2 minutes, 5 seconds. After the match, AJ grabs Ellsworth, slams his face first into the ropes. AJ then pulls Ellsworth out of the ring and manhandles him to the floor. AJ continues to assault and sends Ellsworth face first into steel steps. AJ goes under the ring but throws Ellsworth into the frame of the ring instead. Fans want tables. AJ catapults Ellsworth under the bottom of the ring frame as referees yell at him to stop. AJ walks off and grabs the WWE title as referees tend to Ellsworth. AJ turns back around and returns to the scene of the crime as fans pop. As they're doing the orgasm chant, AJ nails a snap suplex into the barrier. AJ goes back to the ring, stands home with the title. AJ takes the mic and says, "That has been building for 6 weeks and was a long time coming. Medics out to check on Ellsworth, put him on a stretcher. AJ now says now he can move on to bigger things in 2017. AJ says he doesn't have to ask Santa for anything this year because he has it all, including the WWE title, which brings out Dolph Ziggler's music, and out he comes. Ziggler reminds AJ about their match next week. Ziggler mocks him for taking this long to beat Ellsworth. AJ says he won't need but one shot to defeat Ziggler next week, and it will be a cakewalk. Ziggler says it won't be that easy because he put his career on the line a few months ago and came out on top, so there's nothing he won't do to get his hands on the WWE title. And more music interrupted, and out comes Baron Corbin for his way out. It can be seen in this link. Corbin says he should be getting the shot next week, not Ziggler. He calls Ziggler little man. He asks how many chances WWE is going to give him. Corbin says Ziggler only earned the shot because he was gone. Corbin says Ziggler will lose next week because that's what he does. Trying to steal Mark Henry catchphrase. Corbin then says Ziggler doesn't steal the show. He steals opportunities and wastes them. So next week, Corbin decks Ziggler and drops him. Ziggler comes back, but Corbin nails the end of days, and AJ looks on from the ramp. Fan chant one more time, but Corbin declines and exits the ring. Just doing this. As his music hits, out he goes. AJ watches and backs up the ramp as we go to the back. Still to come segment, Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper. Also Apollo Crews versus Intercontinental Champion The Miz. Back commercial. Back from the break, we get Ziggler backstage with Daniel Bryan. He wants a match with Corbin. Bryan grants it, but if Ziggler loses, Corbin gets his title shot next week. Intercontinental title match, Apollo Crews versus The Miz. The match can be seen here. We go to the ring, out comes Intercontinental Champion The Miz with Maurice. Apollo Crews waits in the ring, they lock up and go at it. Crews attacks and goes for an early pin attempt. Crews ends up hitting a drop kick for another 2 count as Maurice looks on, worried. Miz rolls to the floor for a breather, but Crews hits a baseball slide. Crews comes to the floor and goes back on to the apron for a moonsault. They bring him back in, and Crews keeps control, faces the Miz, back to the floor to regroup. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Crews goes for another pin attempt. Miz counters a move, but Crews rolls through a skull-crushing finale attempt for a 2 count. Crews then slams Miz for another 2 count. Crews misses a splash on the corner, but Miz runs into an elbow. Maurice gets on the apron for a distraction as he was trying to get a rake in the eyes when the referee sees it, and she tries to play it off. He ejects her from ringside. Miz argues with the referee. Crews took advantage and rolls Miz up for a 2 count. Schoolboy style. Miz was a boot to the face. Crews catches Miz in midair with a German suplex for another close 2 count. Miz ends up countering another one that hits the skull crusher finale out of nowhere to retain as Intercontinental Champion. After the match, we get replays as Renee Young comes into the ring for an interview. She asks about his obsession with Dean Ambrose. Miz wants to talk about Renee's obsession with Dean. After all, she's been sleeping with him. Well, that brings up a hesitant Renee, and she slaps the crap out of Miz as he just sells the slap. Storms out of the ring. 4 corners matches announced for next week with SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Wyatt Family, Slater and Rhino, American Alpha, and the Usos. We go to the ring, out comes Natalya. She has something to say about the commercial momentarily. Well, that can be seen at this link. Back for the break. 2-minute break. Commercial break. And she's grabbing the mic before the break, and she has to wait for the break. She calls out Nikki to the ring so they can squash what's going on. Nikki comes out, but Carmella's music immediately hits. She's just there to see how Natalya weasels her way out. This one. And Natalya says, "Weasels?" As they have words. Carmella mentions John Cena always helping Nikki with her problems. She goes on and wonders if silicone has leaked into Nikki's brain. Natalya tells Carmella to shut up, let Nikki that she has her back. Carmella talks more trash as how it was Natalya who attacked Nikki. Natalya called her a dirty Staten Island snitch. Nikki asks if it's true. Natalya says Carmella caused all this. She chases her up the ramp, tossing her into the Christmas tree display. Natalya comes back with a mic and speaks from the stage. Carmella escapes. She says, "All right, I did it. You bought, you B-word." Natalya says she always despised Nikki. She's Natalya Neidhart. She's wrestling royalty. Nikki's not. Nikki looks on from the ring as Natalya runs her and Brie Bella down. Natalya says that they're nothing just like the fans. Fans boo at this point. Natalya calls her a B-word again. And Natalya says Nikki is nothing and that's why Cena will never marry her. There's a segment. They stare each other down, and that's it. Still to come, Ziggler versus Corbin. Also Ambrose versus Harper. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we see Daniel Bryan speaking on the phone after finding out Alexa Bliss is cleared to compete. Bliss walks in and Bryan makes Becky Lynch versus Bliss with a SmackDown Women's title on the line, official for next week. By the way, he's also booked her to wrestle tonight. Bliss says whatever happened to her opponent tonight is on Bryan's hands. Well, we got Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper. Can be seen in this link. We go to the ring. Out comes Dean Ambrose. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Wyatt family are out next. Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, and Luke Harper. Harper enters the ring and Ambrose attacks. Back and forth early on. Harper slingshots Ambrose under the rope and kicks him out of the ring. Harper stands tall in the ring as we go to commercial. Back from the break, Harper with another close 2 count. Harper with a crossface submission. We see how Harper dominated through the commercial. Harper with a rack now. Ambrose gets out and fights back. Ambrose with a running clothesline. More back and forth. Harper launches Ambrose into the turnbuckles and nails a super kick. Ambrose tumbles out to the floor. Ambrose ends up nailing a big elbow from the top to take down Orton and Wyatt on the floor. Ambrose comes back in, but Harper hits him with a sit-down powerbomb for a 2 count. Ambrose ducks a clothesline. Harper blocks dirty deeds. Ambrose ends up getting the pin off of a roll-up. Wyatt's attack Ambrose as soon as the music hits. Wyatt's grab Ambrose for Sid Abigail, but launches him into an RKO from Orton. Wyatt poses over Ambrose as the lights go out. The lights come back on as Ambrose is trying to get up in the ring. Miz makes his way back out with Maurice. Miz lifts Ambrose and drops him in a skull-crushing finale. They stand over Ambrose and kiss before Miz music hits. In that segment. Still to come, Corbin versus Ambrose as we see Alexa Bliss walking backstage. Back to commercial. Alexa Bliss versus La Luchadora. Unknown who this person is, but you can see the match at this link. And she gets in lots of luchador moves. Back from the break, out comes SmackDown's Women's Champion Alexa Bliss. Masked woman already in the ring. She shows Alexa up to start and gets an early 2 count. Luchador keeps control and frustrates Bliss. Bliss turns it around and gets an upper hand for a 2 count. Masked woman gets up, ends up putting her in the disarmor after a couple of roll around the rings, Luchador style. Applies the disarmor and gets a non-title win. That's a surprise to Alexa. After the match, masked wrestler runs around the ring, celebrates with the fans. She runs back in the ring and removes the mask, revealing herself to be Becky Lynch. And this outfit was a blue outfit with granny panties, red granny panties. They were sitting up way up, almost as almost her titties. As Becky taunts Bliss from the ring as Bliss clutches the title and makes her exit. Actor Ryan Philippe is backstage looking for Randy Orton. He runs into Mojo Rawley. Mojo said that's a bad idea because Orton's a bit of a different guy today than he was back when he was on Ryan's show's Shooter. Kurt Hawkins appears, kind of like Hee Haw style, coming up. You know how Roy Clark does Empty Arms Hotel thing, as he appears, and Mojo ends up telling him to get to stepping or else. Hawkins brings up Zack Ryder being injured and says Mojo will never become SmackDown Tag Team Champion. They have words to hype a match later on as Hawkins leaves, as Felipe and Mojo laugh at him. Match commercial. When that match is up next, Kurt Hawkins versus Mojo Rawley at this link. Back from the break, Mojo comes to the ring. Mauro Ranallo calls his opponent Chad Hawkins. We see Ryan Felipe is out for commentary. Kurt Hawkins waits in the ring as we get the bell ring, and they go at it. Hawkins takes control, and a big clothesline for a 2 count. This is only offense. Hawkins tries to keep Mojo grounded, but Mojo comes back with his power, with a big back chop. Mojo then delivers a pair of shoulders, and then a clothesline. Mojo smashes Hawkins in the corner, and then nails a pounce, and a running right hand in the corner for the win. After the match, Mojo stands tall as Felipe applauds it. As we go to replays, Mojo invites Felipe into the ring and joins in the celebration. Still to come, Corbin versus Ziggler for your main event. Which is up right here. Well, this is a backstage segment. Back from a break, as Dasha Fuentes says James Ellsworth has been taken to a local medical facility, but he comes out of the locker room with 2 medics. He's all bandaged up, mummy style, and wearing a neck brace. Dasha keeps trying to interview him, but he's in too much pain. Carmella walks up out of nowhere and tells Dasha to quit exploiting Ellsworth. She controls Ellsworth and takes him off to recover. That's it. Announcer said, "Whoa, lucky man." Number 1 contenders match: Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. At this link, we go to the ring, and out comes Ziggler. Winner of this match will face AJ Styles next week. Corbin was out next. Before the match can begin, AJ Styles makes his way out for commentary. Back to commercial. Back from the ring, Ziggler strikes first to start the match. Corbin comes back from a breather, takes control. Corbin drops Ziggler with a knee to the gut and slams him face first into the top rope. Corbin with a big boot to the throat now. They end up on the floor, and Corbin drops Ziggler with a knee in the front of AJ to send him a message. Corbin brings it back in for a 2 count. Ziggler fights back and beats Corbin into the corner. Corbin counters and whips Ziggler into the corner. Corbin lands hard and goes down. Corbin with another 2 count. Corbin keeps control and covers for another 2 count. Ziggler looks to make another comeback, but Corbin knocks him away. Corbin keeps control and sends Ziggler shoulder first into the ring post. Corbin goes to the floor and nails a running forearm, crushing Ziggler's head into the ring post. We get a commercial break. Back from the break, Ziggler moves as Corbin runs into a ring post. Ziggler and Famouser for a close 2 count when they're back inside the ring. More back and forth as Ziggler counters a powerbomb for a 2 count. Corbin nails an STO for another pin attempt. Corbin stands tall after a big right hand. Corbin talks some trash. Ziggler rolls him up for a 2 count. Corbin floors Ziggler for a huge clothesline for another 2 count. Ziggler nails a neck breaker on the middle rope. Ziggler nails a zigzag for a close 2 count. Ziggler with strikes in the corner now. Ziggler climbs up, but Corbin elbows him in the head a few times. Corbin comes off the corner with a big right hand and a deep 6 for a counter. It looked like Ziggler was going to nail the zigzag again. But deep 6 for a 2 count. Corbin kicks Ziggler out of the ring and follows. Corbin then launches Ziggler into the barrier. Corbin launches Ziggler into another part of the barrier and as the referee counts. Corbin launches Ziggler into Styles next. Corbin picks Ziggler up, but gets super kicked and goes down as the referee calls for the bell. 10 count out on both guys. Styles comes over with chair shots for Ziggler and Corbin. Styles continues the chair shots until the music hits, and out comes Daniel Bryan. Bryan makes next week's WWE title match, a triple threat match. Ziggler versus Corbin versus Styles. Styles pitches a fit as SmackDown goes off the air as Daniel Bryan's music hits. 2K Live results from Joe Louis Arena following SmackDown. Therefore, there was no dark matches. Show starts off with a recap from Roadblock and Raw from this past Sunday and Monday. The conclusion of the Cruiserweight Triple Threat Championship match, the return of Neville, and the recent attacks of Rich Swann and TJ Perkins, leading into tonight's main event. Ariel Dewey versus Lince Dorado. The Persian Lion versus the Golden Lynx here. Reluctant handshake by DeVere prior to start of the match. Hurricane Rana by Dorado to start things off. DeVere gets an early advantage with a leaping neck breaker on Dorado. DeVere then hit a wicked hammerlock lariat on Dorado, covered him for a near fall. Ariel then starts to work over Dorado on the mat. Lince is eventually able to get back to his feet and hit a pretty springboard stunner on Ariel. The stunner sends DeVere outside to the floor. Dorado follows him out there by leaping onto him. Both men are down and struggle to get back into the ring. When they do, Dorado hits a flying crossbody on DeVere. Lince then hits a springboard on Rana on DeVere. It nets a near pinfall. Lince then takes Ariel to the top rope. DeVere fights back and knocks Dorado down to the mat. He then leaps off the top. Frog splashes Dorado and pins him for the victory. Ariel DeVere defeated Lince Dorado by pinfall. After the match, Nacho Ventus entered the ring to interview DeVere. Ariel insulted the audience for supporting Jack Gallagher. He says that he is not a gentleman, but a scoundrel. Neville is backstage and is approached by Brian Kendrick. Neville interrupts Kendrick in mid-sentence, tells Brian that he respects him. They were the ones who made cruiserweight wrestling, but wrestling 300-pound men is stealing the show. Neville tells Kendrick that they are only partners for tonight, that there is only room for one king of the cruiserweight division. Preview aired for the upcoming return of Tajiri to the WWE and cruiserweight division. Cedric Alexander with Alicia Fox in his corner versus Drew Gulak. Highlight shown here prior to the match of Noam Dar on Raw, saying that he wants to take away Alicia Fox away from Alexander. Evenly contested match early on with both men getting tit for tat on the mat. Pace picks up in the match. Alexander hits several strikes on Drew Gulak. Gulak then battles and floors Cedric when he throws him face first into the middle rope. He then applies a chin lock on Alexander, tries to get a pinfall on him, but Cedric kicks out. Gulak then whips him in the corner, but Cedric counters with a double foot stomp. Alexander has all the momentum now in the match. He nails a springboard insecurity and then follows up with a springboard closeout for a near fall. The action goes to the outside when Alexander suplexes Gulak to the outside. When they both get out there, Gulak pushes Alexander inadvertently into Alicia Fox. With Alicia Fox ailing on the outside, Drew tries to capitalize and bring Alexander into the ring as Drew is beating down on Cedric. Noam Dar comes out to ringside and carries an injured Alicia Fox to the back. Meanwhile, Gulak then rolls Alexander and pulls the tights, but Alexander still kicks out. Cedric recovers, hits the lumbar check on Gulak and pins him. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Cedric Alexander rushes to the backstage area to catch up to Dar and Alicia Fox. Nacho Ventus approaches a defeated Gulak at ringside. Drew blames his loss on Alicia Fox. A Jack Gallagher profile video aired. After the video aired, we're backstage with Alicia being attended to in the trainer's room. She is with Noam Dar. Alexander runs into the room. Alicia has a twisted ankle. She says that she is grateful that no one was there to help her. Noam tells Alicia that if she ever needs help, he will be there. 205 live main event. Outlandish Rich Swann and TJ Perkins versus Neville and Brian Kendrick. Austin Aries makes fun of TJ Perkins dabbing prior to the match, saying that someone should tell him that a little dab will do you. Neville and Swann kick things off in this tag match. Neville brings the fight early to Swann, showing a whole different side of his ring persona. He's way more aggressive, dating back to his heel days in NXT, but perhaps with a darker edge. Neville with a basement drop kick to the back of Swan's head. He then proceeds to stomp in the corner and controls the early part of the match. He delivers a delayed vertical suplex on Swan. Covers him for 2 count. Neville continues to dominate the Cruiserweight champion. Swan then gets out of trouble when he blind tags TJ. As Perkins flies into the match on Neville. Brian Kendrick makes his way into the match. He and Neville briefly argue with each other. Perkins ends up hitting a spinning back kick to Kendrick. TJ then tries to run at Kendrick in the corner. Kendrick kicks him in the face, then attempts to hit slice bread, but Perkins gets out of that. TJ then sets up Kendrick in a tree of woe and hits a delayed running drop kick into him. That's Perkins a close fall on Kendrick. TJ then hits a springboard senton and covers for another cover on Kendrick, but he kicks out. Brian Kendrick battles back and takes down Perkins. Rich Swann blind tags himself in, but Kendrick intercepts him and beats him down for the next few minutes. Swann eventually builds up momentum, but it is shut down when Kendrick hits him with a flatliner. Neville is in, and he deadlifts Rich Swann, hits a German bridge suplex on Swann, who kicks out. Swann is reeling. He sticks and moves. Neville attempts to leap out of danger, but ends up getting hit with a Swan song kick. Rich covers Neville and gets a 2 count. Neville and Swan both are down. They both get up. Neville hits a lariat on Swan that turns him inside out. Both men are down. They eventually get to their corners and tag in their partners. Perkins and Kendrick go at it. TJ wins the exchange by hitting the detonation kick and then gets Brian the knee bar submission. Neville makes a save for his partner by drop kicking Perkins in the head. Chaotic action with all 4 men going at it now. Action on the inside and the outside. Kendrick is able to lock in the captain's hook on Swan, but Perkins breaks up the hold. Neville beats down on Swan, but he tags in TJ. Perkins then tries to take the air and attack Neville. He leaps off the top, but gets hit with an insecurity in midair. It knocks him out cold. Kendrick hits the top suicide on on Swan. Neville hits the top rope and hits the red arrow on Perkins. Covers TJ and pins him for the victory. And that concludes my SmackDown and 205 results for this week. Thanks again. See you. What a video. If you don't know, just comment, brothers and sisters.